and gentlemen, and all things in between, welcome to the Historical American Building Survey, California, Part 17? Wow, that's a lot of parts. I didn't think we'd go past 10. I didn't think it was possible. Boy, was I wrong. Now, if you're just joining us, here we go through the survey conducted by the powers that be as they went back across the land in early America, chronicling, marketing, and tracking all of the things of the old world for protection of our heritage, allegedly. I suspect for far more nefarious reasons, and we'll be looking at these through the usual kaleidoscope of my own suspicion. And if you happen to be working for the establishment and you're here to keep an eye on things, well, consider this a learning opportunity, as if it were a seminar on how better to lie to your citizens in manners in which they may not find out. How about that? It's like a workshop for you guys. I can be useful. We begin here at the Mission Town Hall. As usual, all thoughts, sounds, production, recordings, music, lights, camera, action, arguments, whether produced, whether adequately performed or not, are all, well, you know what? Tell you what. If you like it, then I did it. If you didn't like it, any part of it, the song or anything, it's Jerry's fault. Oh, and Jimmy. Well, they're interchangeable. Which one are you? Yeah, wise guy. Mission Turn Hall, we're told, the women's building. This is a clear expression, we're told, of San Francisco's social history in the post-earthquake era of construction, of course. They commissioned a German man, Reinhold Danke, to design and to build this hall. He utilized the primarily Mission Revival style, which opened its doors in 1911. Now, as the years went on, what the hell's wrong with this thing? Jesus. Where was I? The architectural uniqueness of the building stems from Denke's use of Mission Revival style combined with his own Teutonic heritage. You know how it goes, the tile trim, the stucco, the particular massiveness of the building. All similar to what you'd expect from the Mission Revival architecture of that time. But the balconies, though, that's Germanic. Now, this was converted to a dance floor at some point after the Men and Women's Club of Norway bought it out, which, it's like, well, what is Norway doing all the way out here? Get your own, like, men's and women's clubs if you have to come here to get one. Maybe you should buy one that's more of style of not here, but more Norway. You know, for the first time ever trying to imitate anyone from Norway, not bad, not bad. Not good, but not bad, I think. I mean, actually, I have nothing to compare it to. The building welcomes you, really. Really, though. It does. That's what I heard. You can see outside here, you got these cornices, and it looks like it's all been stuccoed over, but there's definitely some old world stuff going on here. A little antenna action right there, you know what I'm saying right there? Got your fancy cornices. It's a cool little place. This was in 1911, and it's still there. Shared by mixed social and ethnic groups, but united in that they're all women, as it should be. Next up, this is the Lancaster County Center, considered to be historically significant. It's associated with community events and it provided essential services. The complex as a whole really embodies distinctive characteristics that convey a strong sense of time and place by representing the civil and social center of Antelope Valley from 1938 for the next 10 years. It's the main center, right here. This one. Not much of a looker. But all five buildings were the County Administration Center for Antelope Valley and provided essential community services, including the sheriff, health center, county clerk, water and building department, assessors department, justice court, library, etc., etc. The purpose of this report is, as you can guess.
Can you?
Because they're gonna tear it down, right, exactly.
Good job.
You're learning California's ways. Whether or not they did or not, I do not know. But they wrote up a 42-page document about these five buildings, talking all about what at one point they needed a new library, but the county clerk wasn't having it. As luck would have it, as he was in town to inspect the library, there happened to be a fire that day, and they all ran inside and they saved all the books, and the county inspector turned to his clipboard-wielding assistant and said, "Never mind, Jenkins. Schedule that library for next Thursday. I won't have my citizens without books for very long," or something to that effect. At which point, Mr. Jenkins licked his little tip of his pen and said, "Right away, sir." Scribbled. And the two city workers looked at each other with a slight smile curling at their lips. That's the way I imagine it went down. But then again, I have a wild imagination. Wild with the wildy. And still, I can't imagine that these buildings are that interesting. Hi, guys. Here we come to a baffling bit of the survey. Baffling because there's no data about it. Like none. It's been removed. And so what are we to do? I'll tell you what it does. It leads to reckless speculation on my part, which is a slippery slope. But let's Check it out. What do we got? What do we got? We got some old world beauties. We got a winner and a minute. We got a minute here and a winner there. I feel like I've seen this one before. We talked about this one. Yeah, this is the one that had the burger place downstairs, didn't it? Oh, that's right. They were tearing these bad boys down. For what? Because they're too dope looking? There's no future here, building. You're too pretty. The other building feels somewhat threatened, even though they come along later. You have the eye of all the boy. Architecture is really a hot topic these days. I don't know if you've been on TikTok lately, but it's been nothing but buildings. That's what I'm told. I'm not cool enough. The only TikTok I know is from Oz. You know, the book from like 1830. Cool character though. And yeah, Jimmy, you're not going anywhere until you clean up this fucking bedroom. I told you. Officer, come quick. Okay. Someone broke in. Okay. They stole my doorknob, first of all. They came in here, and look at this. They drew pornography all over the wall. I mean, they did very artfully, so I kind of want to leave it, but still, can you believe it? It's a violation. That's all they did. No, that's all they did. The mess is just mine. It's just how I live. I go strong, officers. I go real strong. Man, I was just looking at the amazing brickwork here, and I just couldn't help but notice the even more amazing pea soup graffiti on the wall. Wow. California, your citizens often have such, what's the word? Decorum, perhaps. Yeah, I don't know. Something like that. My God. These buildings are so cool. Guessing that we don't know anybody knows how to do this sort of brickwork anymore, or cares to learn how, because it's all made from brick. Billions and billions of bricks. Oh, these jobbernows would just leave the walls alone. Some of us are trying to admire them, damn it. In any case, here's where you'll be sleeping, Jennifer. Breakfast is at 8. Good night. This old boy is what's left of the 2.5-story First Nazarene Church. That's right. The original facades have all been obscured by additions, so that the only remaining open facade is on the north side facing the rear of the church, which is where we are. The wall cladding here is rusticated concrete block, the surface texture of which resembles hand-hewn stone and appears to have been formed separately and molded by hand. Looks like a barn, if you ask me. The basement is partially above ground windows matching the main windows. Imagine that. Matching the main windows. The interior has been neglected. It is not part of the survey. Although, evidence of some of the woodwork and lath and blast exists, but I don't want to go in there and get tetanus. So I'll just have to convince myself it's not historical. You know, one thing I should mention is that 10 or more exhibits in between the ones that we're seeing, like for example, what I call exhibit, like we go from that church to this church, there are like 10 in between that have been wiped from the record before they were uploaded to the Library of Congress. And since they've been uploaded to the Library of Congress, meaning since 2014, they've deleted about another 150, 200, just wiped out completely. Now, you would know that if you go look at the amount, the total photo amount is higher. So it gives the impression that they're adding to it, but really they're not. They're adding more and more photos of exhibits that are already in here. So what are they doing with all these? Like, it's not because they demolished them. There's plenty of buildings that they demolished, but they leave in this survey. They are literally wiping the history from the record. This one, there's no data about this at all. This is Grace Cathedral. And this is a real travesty. This building right here, this majestic old world building, you might find this in Italy. You might find this anywhere. Built by the same people, no doubt. This is gone. At least as of the writing here. It was scheduled to be demolished May 93. Fucking gone for 20 years, 30 years. What kind of bullshit is that? This is built in 1911. You know, what's annoying about that is they leave all that bullshit, all those plants out there and all the mines. They leave all that industrial wreckage everywhere, but they tear down stuff like this. Because this is a middle finger to them. This is an eyesore to them. This is a reminder that they live a lie. In any case, this was resurrected. 1911, there was a cornerstone ceremony. The San Francisco Daily Morning Call reported that the ceremony was attended by Bishop Nichols, who placed cement on the stone with a silver trowel and then handed the trowel to Miss George Gibbs, who furnished the money to build the new school. Here you are, Mrs. Gibbs. I'll trade you this now cement-coated silver trowel for all the money that you're going to give us to start this new school, begin the indoctrination program here, as we've done in every other town. In exchange, you'll be allowed to keep the properties that you live in. They had the cornerstone ceremony, but then they didn't even begin the construction until like another, 3 months. And on that day, Bishop Nichols unveiled a memorial tablet and formally accepted the completed structure. Oh, I guess. Now about the architect. Born in 1873, Louis Parsons Hobart spent most of his boyhood in California. He studied architecture at the University of California, the American Academy in Rome, and then from 1902 at l'École des Beaux-Arts in Paris. And absolutely no one listening to these surveys is surprised anymore because every fucking architect somehow went to Paris for 2 years. It's impossible! You know how long it would take you to Paris? Fucking San Francisco in 1902? Do you know how long? Wouldn't even be worth it. Going there for a year and come back. What could you possibly learn? I learned how to build a cathedral. After working in New York for a couple of years, somehow, considering he was born in 1873, went to Paris in 1900, and then came back and built this cathedral in 1911. It wasn't really much time, really. He's talking about 17 years old when he went to Paris, and by the time he comes back, it's 8 years until he's here, so he really couldn't have worked in New York for too long, but regardless, he comes to New York in 1906 in response to the demand for more architects to rebuild the city. Wait a second. Rebuild the city? You must be referring to the earthquake. Yes, of course. Playing a leading role along with dozens of others in the buildings of downtown San Francisco, including Mills Tower, the Macy's Building, the Bohemian Club. He also designed the California Academy of Sciences. A notable project, however, was this Grace Cathedral, which he was involved with from 1907 to 1941. So basically, he was involved with it 4 years before it was built. That's cool. He was also the first president of the San Francisco Art Commission. Wow. Shockular. George Bose was the engineer who worked with Hobart and Forderer Construction. There's a basement for those of you who are curious about such things. It has had no additions since 1911. Just had some doors put in. Those don't count. They turned the downstairs arranged fuel room into a cathedral gift shop. They took the wood paneling, wood window moldings, and built-in bookcases and sliding doors out. But aside from that, no alterations. Oh yeah, they did convert a bathroom into an office, and they added a bathroom into part of a kitchen. And on the third floor, they added a bathroom to what was originally just a shower. And they also added a kitchen on the third floor in what was a bedroom. But yeah, other than that, no alterations. Is anyone interested in hearing the history of the Episcopal Church in California? No? I shall tell you all about it then. This tells us that the Episcopal Church in California was founded before California had attained statehood, but after San Francisco had, in a few months, become an instant city during the early days of the gold rush, the Grace Cathedral had its origins with a group of San Francisco Episcopalians who petitioned the National Board of Missions for clergymen in 1849. Dr. Reverend J. L. left from the East Coast to head that way, but he was delayed until October 1849. The gold rush hadn't even begun. So what the hell are they talking about? He was late. They began services in July 1849, when the population of San Francisco was still about 500 people. In October, when the population was 25,000, he said,
"This place can support 2 Episcopal churches."
From these humble origins of a wooden church on the corner, the Grace Church grew to become the center. Yeah. We know all about it. The church is corrupt. The government's corrupt. The insurance companies, the schools, the libraries, all hand in hand. Exploit. Move into city, call your buddies from the railroad, build your business right along the tracks, cut deals with the current landowners, they pay for the school, you provide the curriculum, you use your trains to jumpstart their business. Exploit. Move into city, call your buddies from the railroad, build your business right along the tracks, cut deals with the current landowners, they pay for the school, you provide the curriculum, you use your trains to jumpstart their business, they cash in, they sell all the land, you buy all the land, you trick people into coming here, tell them that they're being sick, tell them that there's gold everywhere, you sell them all the land, you walk away from your industries because you no longer need the money, you laugh all the way to the bank, which you also own. Quite the scandal. I would hate to be your soul. And one last look at her before we go away. Sigh. Goodbye, my dear. Wait a second. That's so crooked. I mean, do you think that you could do that? You think you can go to school for a year and just come back and be like, yeah, I got this. I know how to build that. Give me a break. That's a stupid story. Written for stupid people, by stupid people, for stupid people, probably. That's why we love it so much. Hey, let's take a little shortcut over here. Come on, be quicker. Keep coming. How long? Look. I'm sure one of the entrepreneurial gold miners that rushed out here from whatever broke job he had in other parts of the country, and let me guess, magically dug hundreds of miles of canals with his teeth alone. Lined them with reinforced concrete that had barely been invented, somehow secured the waterway, and then wandered off into the forest, never to be seen again. See, I can do it. I can make shit up. And that old world beauty over there hiding behind the masquerade of a modern-day gymnasium. Yep, but you can't fool me. I know they ain't built that. I can tell. Put them arch windows in right there. No, you didn't. Why you make that door so big, Ann? No, you didn't. Pop it in right. Next up on our glorious list will be... me think. This is the friend's house or something. I can't remember. I believe this is part of the Hotel Torino, but I can't be certain, which is in the River Street Historic District, in a working-class neighborhood in San Jose where every single person's name is Frank, pretty much. Or is it Fred? I think it's Frank. I believe that this is the little restaurant that is on that property, but I can't be certain. And so, we will flip a quarter towards the barman that I don't see. Actually, a quarter would be cheap, wouldn't it? Well, if a quarter flips in the bar, no one hears it. Is there a sound? Is it still a tip? I don't know what I'm trying to ask. How about you? Something's missing. Now, normally I wouldn't do this sort of thing, but I can't let a man go without a good stash. You know, no one's here. It's the kind that goes like that, and it matches his suave look and unibrow, apparently. He says, "You remember me." Actually, he doesn't say that at all. He says this: "I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too." Or something like that. Yeah, I flipped it on you, didn't I? Ooh, you thought I was going to be an Italian dude or something, bro. Or maybe like a Spaniard. What do you never know, dude. You never know. Got all kinds of them on my arsenal. And they're all equally as terrible. I remember making fun of this window. Still haven't replaced it, eh? It's been like, what? Months. Years, even. Same picture, though. For shame. Why, back in my day, we would have insisted on... I would have been back up here the next morning. I don't care if I had to walk in the snow with no feet for 3 days. I would have been back up here the following morning and said, "Hey, I got you a new picture. Please swap this one out. I won't allow my residents, my family, to bear such shame as a broken window." What do you think this is? Pennsylvania? That'll really get them. They'll know exactly what you mean if they've seen my video. What sort of barge we got going on over here? It's like it cobbled together from a bunch of spare parts, doesn't it? It looks just like that! Except that is an uninhabitable mine. And this, well, that's somebody's house. Nah, I'm not trying to pass judgment. Well, yeah, I am. That looks like shit. Fuck it, I said it. Oh my god, maybe we are in Pennsylvania. Who's that? Who's that creeping in my window? Pow. And, hold on, I had something for this. Suddenly there was a loud crash. Oh my god! Jerry, you okay? Jerry! What happened in here? This is the inside of that house. You can tell they've got the workout barbell still part of the routine, okay? And that is not the kind of graffiti I expected to see on a ceiling. I mean, you're tall enough to get up on that ceiling. And you're John fucking Scrooge McDuck. That's the kind of guy I think I'm afraid I'll have to meet just to, make sure that he exists. Not sure if he's completely terrifyingly evil or just a jolly good time. And I said, "Who's that creeping in my window? How? Nobody now." Thank you, sir. Now rest your weary eyes. Let's tiptoe away. Oh my god, you guys. Perfect. This is fucking proof. Mud flood. Bush. Recent one, too. I wonder if the inhabitants made it out alive. Well, this must have been a meteor strike. A tornado. Or... all of this is the work of a giant killer bunny. Bunnicula. I knew it. I'm not sure why this is even... like, what are we doing here? You really want this on the historic building survey, whatever, like this? I mean, can't you come back another day, sir? Before give me a chance to tidy up? No. Quite frankly, I cannot. God, it's the same way everywhere I go. People barbecuing in the front yard. It's like, one day, Peter loved living in that barn. And one day, his door came off the railing. He said, "Fuck it." Built himself a staircase. Now he got a different door. Cool story, brah. Yeah, well, you know, I see faces and everything, if that wasn't obvious. Here, in this face, I see a 3-headed alien guy, right? And he's got these little lips here. And these are his teeth. And he is just sucking the floor in to his mouth. You see it? Here's his head. He's like, I don't know. That's a terrible one, but I still see it. Look at me sucking it in still. Mom! And what is this property? Well, I'm supposed to be telling you, aren't I? You think I don't know? Is that what it is? You think I don't know? Jimmy, what is this property? I don't know. No, I know, actually. Check this out. I wrote down this neighborhood because I didn't realize that's what I was looking at. I'll print out and read all the data. So the supplemental sheets to these, these chunks of 100 properties each, and sometimes they're like 300 pages long, sometimes there's no pages long. This neighborhood, it just had the name of the person in whose house it is. This is a neighborhood in San Jose, I know that. And every single person's neighborhood's name, I feel like, was Frank, which made me laugh. Although I should be suspicious. Well, I can be suspicious and laugh. Oh my god, something weird about that. How's that? Did you buy it? Well, let's see. This is Historical Amalgamated Survey number CA239, carry 139, and this one belongs to Frank, of course, Porro. That's right, Frank Porro. Well, Frank, you have a monster eating your floors. Good day. Yeah, we're still in Frank's house. Still Frank's. He's got an outbuilding. That's right. I remember that. An outbuilding and an in-building. And and say what you will about it, but the man does have a pot to piss in. Not much more, but he do have that at least. So don't show Frank any pity. Plus, he got a house named after him. I don't have a fucking house named after me. What do I gotta do to get a house named after me? Do I have to just default on it and throw a bunch of trash in the garage and piss everywhere and leave it alone? And let it get old? Oh, cool, sweet. I can do that. I have those skills. I mean, I don't have an experience with it, but it's something that's it's in my wheelhouse. You'll just have to trust me. I'm getting in that survey, baby. And then some other young punk can come along and be like, what the happened here, dude? It freaking looks like trash, dude. What's wrong with these people? And he'd be right. 2391. This one belongs to Eugene Porro. I'm assuming they're brothers. But I don't know. It could be Moro Porros that it meets to the eye. There's always two Porro. Maybe it's Paro. Paro. Like, let me paro your car way. No, I was wrong. It's Porro Frank. But this is Eugene Para. Yeah, that's not confusing. The fuck? What's wrong with this neighborhood? They're in alphabetical order. Steal Eugene's house. You haven't walked far enough. Okay, that's good. Now you're in Lena Kono's house. Yeah, I know. I thought so too. And then nobody has a window around here or what? Yeesh. Talk about a row of hard times. Let me take a little gander at the data. Perhaps there's some anecdote I could throw in their face. Oh. Let me go back. I'm sorry, I missed some important flattery. The Eugene Parra House, due to its architectural integrity and contribution to the urban fabric, forms an integral part of the River Street Historic District. A rare, intact, late 19th century working-class neighborhood. I'd say so. I'd say actually not working class. Out of working class. But I'm guessing that all this flowery shit is because they're going to tear it down. The house was built speculatively. Like all the buildings on St. James Street, it has a basement access door in the southwest corner. This house was built speculatively as a small rental house in order to accommodate the new arrivals within the district. Occupied by several tenants between its construction around 1910 and mid-1920s, occupants included R.C. Fremont, a millman, and Eugene Parra. Another laborer lived here until 1936. Aren't we all just laborers? Mr. Whoever wrote this? Well, they have a little write-up on all these houses. I did not know that. Do we gotta give them their just due? I think we do. Let's at least see, okay? Let's see what they said about Frank Porro. Not to be confused with Eugene Parra. Now, this house... Where's Frank's piece of trash? I mean, little house that he likes and super cute. There. Due to its architectural integrity and contribution to the urban fabric, forms an integral part of River Street Historic District. You know, it's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. House was built speculatively as a small rental house in order to accommodate the new arrivals within the district. This house is occupied by several tenants between its construction, blah, blah, blah. James Beltram, a laborer. Frank Porro, his son Frank Porro, his mother Dominica. Why she not gets the name? Why you name the house after the guy? When he move out, she stay there. He move out, she stay there 10 more years. But you still name the house Frank. That, to me, seems like old school sexism. A text mark case. Wrap it up, Jimmy. This one's done. Actually, I mean, I don't know if that's actually true. Maybe Dominica said, no, mijo, I don't want my name on that house. I don't know. You make it up. You do it. I do it all the time. Wow, is that an accordion? An accordion to history, he said with a smirk. I'm not proud of that one. Let me just say right now, that joke, I'm not proud of that one. I'm also a little bit sad for this guy. Like, where's your body, bro? Don't worry. We'll fix that in no time. We gonna make you spendiferous, little body. Yeah, sir. Oh, golly, all for me? Yeah, buddy, all for you. Woo! What you gonna do to celebrate? A lasso? Hell yeah. What about your buddy? Oh, him. He's got one of them long necks, like an ostrich. He's leaning around the corner. He's also kind of a bandito, so, you know, he don't like to be seen. A job well done. 2 bodies given. I gave the same amount of bodies as the amount of F's that I also gave. Did that sound cool? That was terrible. Dude, I'm so freaking tired of my mailbox getting burgled. Oh my god, look at the pajama pants. Oh, road ends here, bud. City done ran out of money right there. Never came back finished. Can you believe it? Oh, is this one of those swings like Miley Cyrus had when she was on that Cannonball video? Where she's like sitting on it, all provocative, just like this drawing. And she's like, look at me. My dad got the Aggie Breaker heart. I'm got the Cannonball. Together we just all kinds of broken. And the crowd roars. Their approval. Ugh, I'm in a really feisty mood. You know, if I was here in person, I would kick that trash can over. I'm impulsive like that. Not very often, but in this moment, well, yeah, I pity the trash can. It won't come around me right now. Not that I have anything against trash cans. It's just sometimes they're so tippable. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say, based on the evidence, California loves couches with no cushion, no seat. It must be the thrill, the surprise. You know, hopefully that surprise doesn't come when you're carrying, like, you know, a hot bowl of con queso, and you're sitting down and suddenly it's, whoops, you know? Because that surprise would be twofold, you know? And the second fold would be that of shrieking in pain and horror. What have we here? Boosh. Old world furnace, eh? Old world furnace. Wait a second. Is that Grubby from Teddy Ruxpin? I think that's Shrek. I don't know. What do you know, lady? I know I'm getting lost in this neighborhood. All right, new place. I think this one's owned by Charles Hill or something. Charles Hill, that's correct. Woohoo! Play something on the jukebox, Charlie. I'm finna cut a rug up in there. Well, I left that party. Turns out Charlie didn't have a rug. Or if he did, it weren't one finna cutting on. This is the Margaret Simon's home. Now, it's one street over, so it's got to say something different. Why, if it doesn't, why, I'll eat my hat. Oh, she ain't even in the survey. Okay, I see. Y'all just took that supplemental data right out the computer, huh? You think that's gonna fool me, huh? What I gotta look like, though? There you are, Peter. I've been looking for you all day. What are you doing? You just sitting there? You going number 2? Well, that is the California bathroom. If you need to take a number 1, there's the bucket right there. Hey, yeah? Not you. Oh, my bad. Hey, what? Not you! These houses are confusing. You know what, sir? You need to not talk through people. There, I said it. I'm running. I'm getting the heck out of here. That guy was kind of unhinged. Oh my god. Tried to hide him, eh? But look at it. I see your Barney dinosaurs. You're a closet Barney fan. What up? See. Hello, is anyone home? Can I borrow an apple? Or an onion? Well, I see Mr. Jimmy hasn't been checking my levels, has he? You fucking... Oh, God. Jimmy, you're lucky I don't have time to go back and re-record all that. Because I would. Because sound is of the utmost, most important thing in this here world to me. Sound. Such as the sound. Oh, California. You know those throat singer guys? They're like... Yeah, like those guys. That was probably really annoying, he said with a grimace. And they were like, that didn't man it too much. Hey, WhisperJack, check it out. F you, bro. This is from all the houses. I get your damn hamburger help a hand out of my face. It's alright, guy. Get some confidence. Okay. Why they all got faces? Why they all got them tubes? What is all this? What is all this hibbity-jibbity? This looks like one of them rocket sites. Is that true? What? Who did you get in here? No, well, I came to the, you... Oh, thanks. Gee, you and everybody else. Oh, even your cousin Ricky, huh? You too, Ricky? Yeah. I never know how those look until later, and I'm just anticipating that they look really terrible. Well, this isn't what I'm looking for. A bunch of fake, plastic-ass, fraudulent robots in here. Bunch of jerks with no manners. And quite frankly, I've had enough. You fake rocket launchers. We know what's up. You can't fool this crowd. Oh, yeah, a bunch of gauges and dials, huh? Let's see. That seems about right. How am I? And how do I get out of here? No. Okay. This time, when Godzilla comes through this part of Ireland, see here, stomp on house here, make fries like pancake. Then people take cover, shelter here, over here, and he come back, he smell them. So stomp around indiscriminate, find people hiding in tunnel. Some people make way down the dirt, they tunnel out here. They think they lost, so okay, fine. Make story here. Set up a little camp. Pretend for a settler here in a place. Do you guys buy the fake Godzilla act? I know what this is. This is that little Queen Mill down by Joshua Tree. You know how I know that? You know how I know that, America? Because I'm the narrator of the American Building Survey Tour. And I do whatever I want. See? I draw and... Ooh, what are you gonna do, huh? What are you gonna do, America? You ain't stopping nothing, dude. I'm the narrator. That's what's wrong. I'll do for real. Like, what is this man thinking? Okay, where was I? This little fraudulent little freaking little place here. Okay, this is the... I have now seen... Let me just pause for a second here and just refocus. Now, I've noticed some things that differ from California to Pennsylvania. Duh. Statement of the year. I get it. Wow, what a profound thought. What I mean is, Pennsylvania has a feel of the old world in that it has a lot in common with Europe, in that it has these amazing old buildings. And we're going to run into this a ton in D.C. and New York and all these Massachusetts, all over the East Coast. And for them, it's mostly if the prevailing theories are somewhat correct, and there is a massive cover-up job with our current leadership about how exactly we built this country up and who exactly was here first. Okay, if that's all correct, and I believe it to be true. I believe that I think the evidence shows that the physical evidence shows that there is something going on. The amount of buildings that they've destroyed, the types of buildings they've destroyed, it's very interesting. And the game in Pennsylvania almost seemed to be, well, there's these buildings everywhere, and we have to sort of repurpose them and act as if we built them all and give them some sort of backstory or let them dilapidate and let them fall into ruin and wipe them out. Here, though, in California, I get the distinct impression that, yeah, there is some of that going on the coast, but in the inland, in the rural areas, where it appears it was primarily, at some point, kind of a flood, kind of like an inland sea for a long time, which is what most deserts probably are, that unless there's some sort of like insane nuclear type event or some happened in Glamis in the dunes, similar to like the Sahara Desert and everything just vaporized. I mean, I don't know, but those sand dunes do need some explaining. And here it's almost like set design, like this. And so this place here, this Joshua Tree National Park, I've stayed here. I spent a night or two here, and I actually should probably go back because now I'm obviously looking at the world very differently from when I was there last and camped in the shade of these massive boulders, and it would just be interesting to go back. But this scene, this Desert Queen Ranch, this is a distinct feel of a set. This could very well be in line while you're waiting for a Disney ride, Indiana Jones, or this could be the set around some sort of desert roller coaster they have. I've seen enough theater sets to know and to be able to spot it. This is ridiculous to act as if this was somehow left in this condition. It's, the pots and pans are still there. The, everything is weathered and worn, but still perfectly holding shape so you know exactly what it is. These things lined up outside, these old bits of furniture. And really the telltale giveaway, almost anywhere you go, is the wagon wheel. And these aren't even wagon wheels, these are like car wheels or whatever. I mean, they have like black tread on them. Now, anytime you see a wagon wheel, anywhere, it has been placed there for show. Now, what makes me say that with such confidence? Because that's what we do. Because think about anytime you currently in your day-to-day life have ever seen a wagon wheel. Where is it? It's for show. It's some decorative piece. It's some rustic charm, or it's someone's made it into a chandelier, or someone has it's propped it up. I mean, it's almost like we're not any different. We are not any different from people that were here hundreds or even thousands of years ago. I mean, we're not smarter. We may know more facts, but we aren't smarter people. This is my opinion, of course. I have no way of proving this, but I can't see how we would be mentally different other than things that are passed down and experiences that we have. And of course, we are exposed to so much information and so much, stimulus at this modern era. Yeah, sure, we know more, or we have experienced more. Yeah, we aren't as fascinated by hopscotch and pogo sticks. It takes a lot more to entertain us, whether that's for better or for worse. But we're still the same. This is an outstanding historical site, they tell us, of desert-based vernacular technologies displaying a range of architectural and engineering artifacts associated with the Euro-American era of settlement in the Mojave Desert. The site is largely intact, with 9 buildings and 4 ore mills still surviving. This ranch was active from 1894 to 1969, during which time 15 roofed structures and 5 ore mills were built. Okay, 60 years, known as Keys Ranch out here. It's a center for a network of social and economic relationships that extend throughout the southern California desert. Okay, so it's a hub for cattle ranchers in the area. But after 1950, it suffered a decline. My beef with this place is this. This is a movie set. They want you to believe that these things were just left behind here. Really? Just left the bowl there, huh? Just left a bucket on the roof. So you really need a bucket. Left an old easy chair out here, huh? This is ridiculous. Like someone just walked away halfway through the process of roofing this and never came back. But the side wood looks pretty good. Pretty good condition. This place was not abandoned like this. This is like a curated display. It's propaganda. I mean, beds out here in the yard, jukebox. I mean, this is propaganda. No one abandons a city and leaves it like this. Nobody. I've seen old abandoned mining operations. They don't stay like this. They collapse. Everything of value is hauled off. There's no truck left like this with milk jugs in the back. This is like a theme park meant to sell someone on the idea that this is how people lived out here. And they did not. All around them are these massive, massive stone walls that are destroyed. Again, like with, I guess I'm supposed to. This is what they want you to look at. This is what we should be looking at. You think that this is just left here like this, in this condition? When you got all these cut marks and these stones back here? Like that. Imprints of stones here and here. You tell me that doesn't look like a wall back there. This is what they want you to see. They push it out front. It's a movie set. Behind it is what you should be looking at. That. I mean, come on. And we're not even close. I mean, look at that. You tell me that that's natural? That looks like a tower, even from this far away. There it is again. And this is pretty much indicative of what California feels like to me in every aspect. Everything's set up. Like, everything is a design. Nothing is natural. Whatever happened, which, if you judge them by this looks like receding waters from all this whole entire area. Just receding waters. I mean, I don't know where all this stuff came from. All these boulders out here. Something got dragged them out. Now, just because I'm speaking in a tone of certainty, this is, of course, just my opinion. And I'll actually post another video later today showing you just a few little other examples of what I think is another example of that sort of thing happening. And all this stuff. These are all modern homes from the 40s, and this is all from the engineering record, which is why I'm kind of flying through it. We've been all through this here woman's building. We've been all through there. And this leads us to our next point of interest, which is here. If it looks familiar to you, it should. This is the House of Hospitality of Balboa Park. We were here once before. The demolition date for this building is set for February 1995, 23 years ago. I believe they even considered and did demolish this. Now, they're going to rebuild it, which they've since done. Historically reconstructed according to the 1935 plan, but of course we know how that goes. It was built in 1914 as the exhibit hall for the Panama, California World's Fair of 1915. By Mr. Carlton Winslow. The claim is that the decorations spoke to the theme of the exposition, the inclusion of the armored shields of the nations of the Pan American Union, the northeast and northwest corners of the building, the three-story towers with sculpture reliefs and imposing finials. There were other buildings, of course, the Home Economy Building, which was demolished in 1961 to make way for a museum of art. There were a series of semi-circular arches on the west and north sides called portals by the architect, whatever that means, designed to protect pedestrians from harsh weather conditions, of which this part of the world have virtually zero. Now, there were a number of buildings that they did destroy, of course, temporary ones. This one was fought for by many citizens and is somewhat preserved. You know, you can still get an idea of how much better it probably was. Now, we've been all through this property. You could see some of the very intricate old world things, as well as some of the stuff that was modernized. You know, these windows sealed up, everything sort of stuccoed over. This is the Alice McNally house. We're back in that old San Jose district. Built before 1884 and one of the oldest structures in the district. Miss McNally owned it till 1939. Funny how as dumpy these little buildings are, they're still basements. Tells you something, doesn't it? It sure tells me something. And, yeah, this here is the Pietro Bava house. Like everything here on River Street, about to be demolished. Have a doorknob. This one's a little better. It's like the Reapers come to call for this neighborhood. Oh, well, hello. Who are you? Same head. This is that same busted neighborhood that we started in. These properties are pretty old and beat down, but there might be some interest in here for you. So I don't have much to say about them. I guess I can sit here and crack jokes, but I think I'll just revert to a song that I made once just to keep some audio going while I let this play out. So enjoy.
Well, I'm a mushroom cloud laying motherfucker. Mushroom cloud laying motherfucker.
Oh, how strange. Oh, my dear, how I wish that you'd change. Oh, the end of a dream. At least that's the way it would seem. Oh, I guess that I never learned. How else can I explain all these burns? I know all tides turn. I'm afraid pain is what you've earned. Oh, here we go again, betrayed by another weak friend. Oh, to what end? Think it's not the olive branch I extend. No, my God, why the fuck are these people so odd? Oh, I guess I'm a bruise, but that comes with the life that I choose. Choose to give, and to give, and to give, and to give, and to give. She'll take, she'll take. Oh, I never will break.
said, these are not very pretty, but we're being thorough. We're going through the survey, one painstaking picture at a time. If you made it this far, which I highly doubt, well, I hope it was interesting. And I will see you soon.